What's up, guys? So today we started a new class. It's called the Disruptions in Development, and we have started talking about, human development over time. And today we had a patient, or I guess a guest speaker. And I won't go into really any detail, unfortunately. I would love to share the details with you guys, but basically this guest was, a great example of a personal story of somebody who got sick early in life with something that then impacted their life significantly on a daily basis, right? How they interact with their family, how they interact with society, applying for jobs, just how you interact with physicians in the future. So honestly, like, these patient cases or just guest interactions are so crucial, especially when we're now doing Zoom and we can't really be face to face. But I really, really value them, and I have a feeling I'm going to really love this Disruptions in Development class because it adds the humanistic aspect to everything that we're learning and memorizing in biochemistry and in histology. Good morning, everyone. It is now Tuesday of my third week of medical school, and I've been trying to keep this waking up early thing going. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock every morning, and I actually end up getting out of bed by like 7 or 7:30. So now typically I'm a night person, right? I would rather stay up later than wake up early in the morning, but things have changed now because I realize my brain doesn't really work properly after like 8 or 9 p.m. I can't sit down and read content and try to memorize it. So instead, what I try to do late at night is any easy work. So if we have any reflections to write, which are like, one paragraph thoughts on a class or on a specific topic, or if I have to clean my email, or if I have to do some psychology reading, then I will do those late at night because they're not like high mental capacity. And then when I wake up really early in the morning, that's when my brain is at its peak. That's when I will do all of the tough pre-work, like histology pre-reading or biochemistry pre-reading. So, yeah, I'm trying to recognize my strengths and weaknesses here and accommodate to that, but waking up at 6 a.m. is definitely not the most fun thing. Anyways, we're about to start histology class here in a few minutes, and today we're covering the respiratory system and the urinary system. To me, they're very not related, but I don't know why we're covering them all at the same day. I guess we'll find out. So far, so good. I've struggled the most with bones and blood and nerves, because I don't know, those are just hard. There's too many things to remember, too many little structures, too many details. I'm also pretty sure that I have worn the exact same red shorts for the past 3 weeks. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. This is what it has come to. I don't have time to do laundry right now. We'll do it after this block ends. I'm also always extremely amazed by my classmates that have spouses and children, especially like more than one child, because I can barely take care of myself. I don't know how they do it, and they still, have time to study and to eat and to sleep and all these things. So they are my superheroes. If you are a parent in medical school, you are like automatically a superhero. That's all I have to say.
Is everybody okay with that? Why would be smooth endoplasmic reticulum versus peroxisome? Since smooth ER is just more full.
So we just finished class for today, and we finished up with our disruptions in development class, and we had a nice little patient case. It was pre-recorded, but today we discussed the different forms of attachment that we have with our parents or our primary caretakers when we're children. So you can have like secure attachment, which is good, and then you can have 3 different types of insecure attachment, and the patient exhibited insecure attachment in a complex relationship with their caretaker. And, that's something super interesting that I think anybody who's a physician should know, not just pediatricians, because all adults started out as children. All adults form some type of attachment to their caregiver at one point in their life. So it impacts everybody. And even if you're not a physician, I think it's really important for us to realize, what kind of attachment we formed and how that influences our life. Anyways, my brain's a little bit tired right now. It's about 6 p.m. and I actually have a nice little to-do list here. So I have to print out my vaccine sheets. They want more vaccine proof. Do some biochem modules that will be for tomorrow. Check and clean my email. And then lastly, I need to create a content review timeline for my upcoming finals. I basically have, I think, 6 days, 7 days until biochemistry, and then I have maybe 8 or 9 days until my histology. So I need to plan out every day and distribute the work so I don't end up cramming and having to study all day long on my weekends like I did up until this point. 7 a.m. I am getting ready to go to my doctor's office to pick up my vaccination form so I can finally submit them to the school and not have to worry about this anymore. And then I'm gonna come back and start reviewing for my final exam, and then I have classes all day long after that. Guys, believe it or not, this is like the first time I've been out in I don't know how many days, probably like 4 days I haven't been outside, like besides for my morning coffee sitting outside on the porch. I have not like driven anywhere. I haven't seen much of the sun, so even though I'm going to the doctor, this is so nice to be able to drive and just listen to music and have a change of scenery. I just got all this paperwork back with all my blood work and everything, so I need to like scan all of this in and send it to my institution. But I just want to give you guys a tip. If you are going to your doctor for anything, even if it's for immunizations, always double check their work, because I'm not saying doctors are like, won't get their work done, but they're so busy and have so many things to do and they can't pay attention to every single detail. So, I was missing something in my documents, but if I hadn't checked it before I left the office, I would have gone home and realized it wasn't there, then had to come back. So always double check and make sure that everything you need is in there, because, everyone's human. There are likely to be mistakes made. So it's on you to make sure everything is correct and double check them always. For the midterm was purine and pyrimidine synthesis, and now I have even more enemies for this final: glycolysis, gluconeogenesis, TCA cycle, electron transport chain, and so much more that are just pathways that you have to memorize. So I'm probably going to end up coming up with some pretty stupid mnemonics in order to cram this into my head. So today we started a new class called Basic Doctoring, and it was quite long. It went for about 3 to 4 hours, but in this class, basically it's going to be longitudinal throughout our first and second year of medical school, and this is where we get trained how to interview a patient, take their history, do their entire physical workup, do an entire patient exam, and how to do that all on our own. And it's crazy because today they did a quick overview of what the history entails, how to take it, and then they gave us an example, right? We did it over Zoom. We're not going to be seeing any patients in person anytime soon. And then next week we're already starting to do our own. We're going to have our own patients that will be, of course, actors that will show up on Zoom, and then we will have to do a full 15-minute interview in history and write up notes and all that stuff. And this means that all of our classmates, all 50 or 49 of my classmates, will be basically in the chat watching me interview this person, and then we get feedback from our professors, from our fellow students. So it's going to be interesting. We also get feedback from the actor patient themselves as well. And I feel like this is going to be the moment of truth where you see how uncomfortable people are, and then how it progresses. And as we do them more and more, people will start, growing and improving. But I'm actually excited for this. I like talking to people, so we'll see how it goes. If you're wondering how tests happen, online, because normally we would go to school, we would have a professor right in front of us, we would be taking the test in person and whatnot. But online, what we basically do is we sit down and we get proctored through Zoom. So our professor is sitting on Zoom and they can see all 50 of our faces, and all we get is one blank piece of paper that we have to show to them, and then at the end we need to make sure that we tear it. We can also go to the bathroom if we need to, of course. You can drink whatever you need to drink. And so taking a Zoom exam is definitely different because you're not in the same room with everybody else, and it just feels strange, but it is what it is for the moment. Now, my schedule has lightened up a little bit. It's nice that we don't have biochemistry, genetics, and histology on the same days, but I do have to really start grinding for my finals, which are literally in no time. Now, we also have been told that we will have a 1 day of in-person orientation coming up at the end of August. That means that I will have to pack my things and travel down to my institution, because right now I'm really far away. I'm still living at home. I've been waiting to see how things would turn out. So during this 1 day of in-person, they will make sure to have us all socially distanced, separated into smaller groups and whatnot, but we basically need to be there for 1 day to get our school-issued laptops so that we can access things behind their firewall, to get our badges and parking, registration, and all of these little logistic things. But after that, we're actually continuing with virtual learning, and we will have 1 week or almost 1 week of anti-racism and diversity curriculum in light of all of the events that are happening right now. And then after that, we start anatomy, which is going to be exciting, but not as exciting as it normally would be because it'll also mostly be virtual. But I'll talk about that when we get to that.